we were throwing this around earlier, and admittedly, again, we're getting ahead of ourselves to an extent, but it does feel like we're looking at a rematch, Edmonton, Florida in the Cup Final. And I'm curious if that is something the Oilers would relish, like they want that opportunity. Do they feel like they want redemption, need redemption? Could that be inspiring, the idea of playing the Panthers again in the Cup Final? How do you see that?
I think that this team would play against their own moms and beat them up to try to win a Stanley Cup. Like, they want to win the Stanley Cup so badly, they would take on anyone. And what better way of doing it than to try to beat the team that beat you last year? For me, I think that'd be a massive opportunity for them to get. It does look like we're on track for that. And this team, I think they're hopeful to try to finish this tomorrow so they can have 2 short series and be rested. They're getting Ekholm back. They got Pickard back. And I think that playing a team really well. I mean, there's been a few changes on each team. Seth Jones coming in there. I know here at the Oilers you got Wallman. A few tweaks, but for a lot of it, it's the same players, same coaches, same managers. And can maybe, a team like Pittsburgh who lost and went the next year, can these things happen? I'd want to beat the team that beat me because I want them to feel the same way I felt the year before.
Struddy, what did you make of I didn't have Evan Bouchard on my bingo card as the guy who's going to give Hintz a tap on the laces, but what did you make of that whole thing?
Well, I'm sure that there was a lot of morality police there talking about Darnell Nurse and his slash on Hintz to start with. I love it. I mean, they're in a battle, and you slash a guy in the foot. He got full value. 2 minutes, and Hintz didn't play 1 game. That's a great deal. That's an unbelievable deal. And then seeing Bouchard skate off and slashing him on the leg again, I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. I had tears in my eyes seeing that someone did that. And, I don't know, News, you probably did a few times. When you slash someone and hit them, on that weak spot, you just know it. Feels different on the end of your stick than when you slash pads or slash stick. And it's such a good feeling. And, you're not trying to make friends out there. This isn't, the church bazaar. You're trying to raise money for new pews. You're trying to beat the other team. You're not making friends. So, you're not there to make friends. After, you shake it and say, great job. But during that series, no one cares. You're trying to win, not trying to make friends.
Yep. That's the truth with Jason Strudwick. And then, you look at the other side of things. Florida, they got a chance to close tonight. Reinhart's going to return. Sounds like Mikola's okay. A.J. Greer's okay. The Panthers, what do you see out of them this year that would stick out as a different characteristic than maybe the team they had last year? Is there anything in particular that might scare the Oilers if it gets to that point? That, they're built this way or playing this way compared to even how they played last year, and they won it last year?
Well, I look at their D. I think their D is better than it was last year. I think that, Seth Jones, the situation with Ekblad's suspension was probably good for him because he got to play a ton. Everyone got to know him. He got to fit in and figure it out. And I think he's big. He takes up space, and he's different than, who would have been their guy last year? Was it Otto Ekman Larson? Probably have been the other guy.
Yeah.
Then I think, Nico Makla, I think he's also kind of improved. He scores some goals every now and then, and he's in there too, and he's a bit annoying, and he plays heavy. So I think that D is either improved individually and or added a piece that's better than what they had last year. And that D was already pretty good. You look at some of the guys they had. So that to me is going to be a pretty big challenge. Now, Brad Marchand presents a whole nother way of doing it. But the Oilers have played against those type of guys, and they have the Kane, the Nurse. Trent Frederick, I think, has another gear to find in that kind of annoying style of play. So I think that would be okay. But that D, I don't know what you guys see, but that D is pretty good. It's pretty stacked.